Yes, I finished 75 hard. And listen, it's been a crazy journey. It's been a lovely experience, to be honest. And I really needed this, man, because before I started, I just wasn't on the best of discipline because a week before 75 hard, I was kind of indulging in a lot of food, and eating junk food. And I really needed this because it's going to be an important reset for me. And after I completed the 75 hard, I learned a lot about myself. And I know for a fact, if you do it, you're going to learn a lot about yourself. And the reason I started this because I felt like I needed to get back on my shit. And 75 hard was, I heard a lot of great reviews and my friend put me on it. Shout out to Zaven. And this was something that a lot of people talked about it and I was interested. And actually, this is my second time doing it. When I finished, the first time I failed that day before I ate the pizza or something. And then the second time, which was this time, I finished it and I'm going to give you my lessons, my experiences, and the before and the after, and also some actionable tips for you if you're going to do it at the end. Before I started, I was about 219 pounds the first day I started. And that specific 1 week that I was kind of messing up my diet right before 75 hard, I gained a lot of weight too because I was just eating junk food pretty much every single day, didn't really care about my calories. And that messed me up, so I needed this reset with 75 hard. And the moment I got on it, like, it's just the benefits are instant. Like, you wake up, you start doing all the tasks, and if you don't know what 75 hard is, it's like a progress picture, 2 workouts a day. One must be outdoors for sure, minimum 45 minutes for both, and you cannot do them back to back. It needs to be a couple hours difference between them at minimum. You need to drink a gallon of water. You need to read 10 pages a day from a non-fiction book. And I believe that's it, right? Let me just go through it. But I'm pretty sure that was it. Yeah, 10 pages of reading, 1 progress picture, gallon of water, no cheat meals. Okay, I forgot this, no cheat meals. So let's just say you're on a diet that's tailored for your fitness goals. You cannot cheat on that diet, and then 2 workouts, So pretty much that's 75 hard. And the moment I started doing it, like, it was just crazy, like, I started loving it. And the moment every day you wake up and you look at the mirror, you take the progress pictures, you get on your shit, it's like you already build that momentum and you're like, man, like, the bigger this momentum gets, you just started using that momentum in other aspects of your life. Your business starts to thrive, your mental health gets better, you just feel very happier, you feel way more proud, your mindset gets better. It's just a great feeling, And I noticed that the moment you're in a sense of like a discipline mode, when you're like in doing certain things every day consistently, you learn a lot about yourself, And personally for me, I got to see a different side of myself because I thought I'm consistent, but whenever I started doing 75 hard, it really teaches you, like, listen, you gotta do certain things every single day, no matter what you feel, no matter what happens. And you wouldn't believe it, but there was one day, I believe it was day 18 or 19, I'm not sure, and I got food poisoning. And that day, it was about like lunchtime, like 2 p.m., 3 p.m. I got food poisoning around that time, and then I got lucky because I did a workout in the morning. I did pretty much most of the things, and I finished a little bit of my water. But then when I got food poisoning, like, I couldn't move. I started throwing up. I was feeling terrible. Like, I couldn't do anything else. And I was like, am I going to quit? I'm on 75 hard. Like, I cannot, like, what am I going to do, like, for the workout? I got lucky because I did the outdoor workouts. I didn't have to go outside. So I pretty much, when I was like, I had food poisoning, I put like a timer for like 45, 50 minutes. And I was just walking, doing ab workouts, doing push-ups, how many I could do, like 5 reps, 10 reps, 15 reps for that 50, 45 minutes. And I got it done. I got that workout done because I just had to. And this is the type of mindset that you're going to develop after completing and even during 75 hard, because it really teaches you, like, listen, no matter what the situation is, no matter whoever the guest is, who came, where are you going, you got to stay on your diet. You got to do the tasks that's required, and the world doesn't care. You have to do it. This 75 hard, like, it doesn't matter. If you miss 1 page, if you read 9 pages instead of 10 pages, you got to start over. Like, it doesn't matter. This is the best way to keep yourself accountable. And a lot of people lack that because they lie to themselves. And with this, if you're honest, if you're doing it for the right reasons and not for ego reasons, it teaches you to be accountable with yourself. It teaches you to be like, yeah, listen, like, I gotta do this for myself, and if I don't, like, I'm a loser, right? Like, you just have to start over. So it just teaches you to, like, be accountable for yourself. And honestly, I loved it. And some of the benefits that I received, honestly, I'm just gonna give you right now. Actually, let me give you the before situation because I wanna kind of highlight that, because before I started, I said like, as I said, like my discipline wasn't the best. I was kind of falling down because of my poor diet the week before that. I was 219 pounds. My body fat kind of went up. My discipline wasn't the best. My cardio wasn't the best. My reading was inconsistent because I was reading maybe once or twice a week, 3 times a week, just for like, here and there. And that was my situation before 75 hard, so I wasn't in the best of positions. I was still posting videos, to be honest. Like I was making content, like discipline with that type of thing, I was all right. But discipline with, like my day-to-day routine with, let's just say, cardio and reading and like even diet at times, I wasn't necessarily the best. And this really got me onto it. And it was like, listen, you gotta like hop on this 75 hard and it's gonna really transform you, right? So that was my situation before. But as I was progressing, as I was completing the days, I was like, listen, I'm feeling better. And I started noticing some results. I started noticing some benefits. And some of the benefits that I noticed, when I'm going to touch my weight later on, my cardio started getting way better, way better. I was doing boxing a couple times a week. But the moment I started doing walks and runs every single day, my cardio just elevated to a different level. And to this day, I'm still improving. It's not like crazy amazing, but like I can do like, a couple miles of running with no stopping. And I'm proud of that, because I couldn't like run a couple months ago. Like I was doing 1 mile and I was already tired, So that's like been a huge progress. I look much leaner. I'm going to add some photos later on during the video. I look much leaner. I lost a lot of body fat. And my weight when I started was 219 pounds. And now I'm 209 pounds the last day of 75 hard. So today is like the first day after day 75. So I'm just going based on my last day. And I lost about 10 pounds. Which is about a pound a week, which is pretty normal, like for like normal weight loss. And I think if I started running more earlier, because I was mostly doing walks, night walks or morning walks, if I did more runs, I would probably lose about like more closer to 15 pounds. But less than 10 pounds is still good. It's like a 1 pound a week. It's pretty solid. But I'm going to still continue the runs and walks because my aim is to like, my birthday is next month and I want to be like even more lean for next month because I'm going to like, travel and do some other stuff. So I got to be even leaner for that. And I'm not going to stop all these habits for sure. Maybe the gallon of water because bro, like it's too much. I'm going to touch on the gallon of water in a bit, but pretty much the mindset also that you craft from completing the 75 hard is absolutely amazing because as I said, like you just teach yourself like you got to do this no matter the situation. Like listen, I don't care whoever is here. I don't care what you're eating, where you're at. It's raining, it's cold, you got food poisoning just like me, you're tired, you got a headache. You gotta do these tasks. You gotta do these tasks no matter what. I also went on a road trip because of during 75 hard. I did my workouts. I was walking in the mountains, like the hills and stuff. I drank my water, like it was just, I had to, like it's just part of the process that you gotta get things done no matter the situation. And honestly, the mindset that you craft from 75 hard, that is the prize. A lot of people keep focusing on the physical benefits. Yeah, you get some physical benefits, but I guarantee you the mindset that you build from completing the 75 hard, that is by far, and I'm no jokes, by far the biggest benefit that you receive from 75 hard. I know like your physique is going to improve, but like the mindset, the way you think, the way you start seeing like your habits build up, like the momentum that you build, all those things teach you a lot. And I would say that's the biggest benefit that I got. And honestly, the self-trust, like the trust that you build with yourself, that's another thing that you like build with yourself, like about with the 75 hard, because you're like, wow, I did this, I was consistent, I was honest with myself, I completed, I showed up every single day, no matter the situation. And now that you have this, you can always fall back to it. Let's just say you're going through like a rough patch in your life. You're like, what, let me just hop on 75 hard. Let me just start doing this again. And I can like get back to the momentum again. I can build, a good rapport with myself to have that trust again, And now that you do it, like after you completed 75 hard, you're going to be like, wow, like I can do anything. Like I know I trust myself. I know I'm going to show up. So it really gets you into that mindset. And honestly, that is by far, and again, I'm going to emphasize on this, by far the biggest benefit you're going to receive from 75 hard, the self-trust that you're going to build with yourself. This is like a mental challenge. This is a mental program. Forget about the physical stuff like the training and the diet stuff. It's more mental, like the fact that you show up every single day, the fact that you program yourself that all these things to the point like you do it so many times that it becomes autonomous. Like you just do it automatically. It's like day-to-day stuff, you know what I mean? And that's the biggest prize I received from doing this. And to be honest, I would 100% recommend you to do this because a lot of people need this. Like most of the people that are not necessarily on point with their training, diet, and all their habits, they need this. This is going to take them to the next level. and my mindset has completely transformed. I thought my mindset is decent. I felt like I'm in a good mental space, but this just took it to a whole different level. And also because I've been reading a lot, I've been exposing myself to a lot of great information, and I feel like, man, like this is like what I needed specifically right now. And if you're gonna do it, I would suggest you to do it, but if you're gonna do it, I got some actionable tips for you. And the number one tip that I'm gonna give you, right? The number one tip is to finish the gallon of water ASAP. Just, you don't even know how many times it was like 11 p.m. or 1 a.m. or something, and I was just still had like 3/4 of a gallon left or a half a gallon left, and I had to finish the whole thing right before sleep. It was that bad. So I'm gonna give you that tip. Just finish your water ideally before 6 p.m., 8 p.m. Just get it done faster. Just that should be your main priority, in my opinion, because I feel like that's kind of like one of the hardest. It's even harder than the workouts, to be honest. I would say just get that done first, and don't forget your progress pictures. Take it first thing in the morning, because it happened in the past that like people just don't take their pictures in the morning, or like they forget it because it's like a small part of it, and you eventually like kind of forget about it. You're like, oh, I didn't do it. And that's another thing that 75 Hard teaches you, is to not ignore the smaller steps, because a lot of times we tend to ignore the smaller details, and we're like, wow, I forgot to do that. But this teaches you like, listen, don't forget about the smaller details, don't forget about the bigger details, and everything needs to be done. Another tip that I'm gonna give you is to read early in the morning, you know? Sometimes it happened that I was reading late at night, and I felt like my eyes were closing, and that's very like dangerous, because if you fall asleep, you pretty much have to restart the whole thing. So I would say get it done for, like, not necessarily first thing in the morning, but maybe earlier in the morning, maybe in the morning times. It's just 10 pages. You can read more if you want to. I read usually between like 10, 15 pages on average. So it just depends how much you're gonna read, like more than 10 pages. But like honestly, the main thing is that read it early in the morning, so the picture, the water, and the reading gets finished quickly. And then the cheat meals and the training, honestly, that wasn't the hardest necessarily, and it was pretty doable. Honestly, I didn't really struggle with that. And after all those tips, the final thing that I'm gonna tell you is to document everything and post everything, right? No, you're gonna be like, wow, no, I don't wanna post, like, you know, I don't want people to judge me. I don't want people to see my journey. Here's my thing. When you start posting, when you start documenting everything, you're gonna be accountable. You're gonna be like, fuck, like I don't wanna mess it up, you know? Like people are like seeing my journey, like I don't wanna disappoint them, I don't wanna disappoint myself, I don't wanna look like a clown. And the first time when I did it, I failed at day 4, and just to prove myself and just to give myself that accountability, I posted, I said, I failed at day 4 because I ate pizza in my auntie's house. That was, in my opinion, kind of embarrassing, you know? That's like a big L on my side. So I was like, I posted this, I'm gonna keep myself accountable, I'm gonna finish this 75 days. I don't care how, but I'm gonna do it. So I finished it, and I was like, you know what? It was great that the fact that I documented, a lot of people got on to their own 75 hard journey. And I was like, wow, like just because I decided to post, a lot of people like started doing it. You know, a lot of people started doing their, you know, own 75 hard, and I felt proud. And I'm not gonna also personally take credit for that, because somebody else put me on 75 hard, and I feel like everybody has their own intention. And the fact that the reason that I kind of posted my journey, and as long as it gave them a little spark to do it by themselves, that's all I'm asking for. Because at the end of the day, the goal and the reason I'm creating content is to, you know, help people upgrade themselves mentally, physically, become abundant through excellence, you know. And that's one of the reasons I make content. And the fact that people started their own 75 hard journey, that's just the best thing, because I'm like, wow, like all these people started and they're on their grind and they're trying to improve themselves. That's the most important thing, you know. And listen, this was my 75 hard journey. I loved it. I'm pretty sure I'm going to do it in the future too. And also, I know there is like different levels to this. So there is Live 100, I believe. And probably I'll do it later on. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it right now, because I might take like I'm going on a road trip very soon. So I'm going to take a break from that. But still, I'm going to be on my stuff. Like I'm going to be running, you know, eating clean and stuff. Just to be sure, because I gotta get even leaner. So that was my journey, man. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to drop a like, drop a sub, and listen, if you want to build muscle, if you want to get jacked, DM me fit on Instagram, and I can help you with that. And thanks for watching, and take care.